Let's practice your R sound in Spanish. We have two sounds for the R in Spanish. We have that singular R, r, and we have that trill, double R, that's r. Notice it's not the English pronunciation. So if you say the color red, stop at the R and see how you're placing your tongue. R. It's all the way in the back and it's kind of curled and doing crazy things. So we're not going to use that placement for our Spanish R. For our singular R, such as with the word pero, we're going to produce that r sound. Anytime in Spanish you have that singular R in the middle or at the end of a word, you're going to produce that r sound. To produce that sound, we're going to use some resources that we have from our English. So in American English, we pronounce the double T, we pronounce the double D, such as shutter or butter. That r, that you're doing that double T, that is what we're going to use to help you ease you into that r sound in Spanish. So for example, if I say butter, do you see how I'm kind of tapping on the top of my tongue? Butter. I'm tapping my tongue to the top. Butter, shutter, d. So you're trying to do that and then hopefully becoming more comfortable until you say something like pero. Okay. For the trill, this is the biggest challenge for students because it's not a very common sound that we make. But let's try doing the following. Say the word no. When you do this word no, stop and see where your tongue is. To produce that N sound. This is where we want our tongue. Okay? Once you do that, then you're going to try to blow air over it softly and keeping your tongue loose so that we can produce a soft purring sound. So if I stop, it's going to be challenging. It's not going to be as easy as how I'm doing it, but keep on practicing it. You're trying to get your tongue to vibrate on top. Again, keep your tongue relaxed. Once you are able to comfortably get that vibrating, now we're going to put sound into it. So again, I'm going to start with my N, so I can start with my placement. I'm going to start blowing air, and then at the end, I'm just going to put sound into it. Again. Hopefully, once you start practicing first with the N, blowing air, and then putting sound into it, it'll start becoming more comfortable for you until you can finally produce r. Anytime in Spanish that we have the double R or that we begin a word with a singular R, it's going to be pronounced as r, that trilled R. So that's why we're pronounced perro, rosa. When we have that singular R, it's simply going to be pero. So notice the difference between these two words that look very similar. Pero, perro. Pero, perro. The first one means but, B-U-T, and the second one means dog, D-O-G. So you can see how different it is when you get into the trill and the different meaning that it would have in a sentence and the importance of why we want to pronounce that correctly. I hope that helps. Keep practicing. It takes practice. It might not come naturally, but with practice, you'll surely be able to achieve it.